There's always something that needs a little fixing on Far Point Farms.
Hey guys, it's Eric here at Far Point Farms in the mountains of North Carolina. Tonight, a very special review, a toolbox review. Not this one, this one. This is my very first toolbox, and it has seen, well, it's seen some better days, but it's still functional. I still use it on occasion. In fact, I was doing some reorganizing here with the new studio and came across it and cleaned it up some. And so I'd like to give you a little tour and a little history of Craftsman's bread and butter. I mean, these things were everywhere when I was a kid. If you were a mechanic or a mechanic wannabe like I was when I was 15, this is what you needed. So let's take a look. Well, here we are. This is a Craftsman 3-drawer. I believe I got this in 1987 or maybe 1988. It was a Christmas gift. It came with some wrenches. I still have those wrenches as well as this box. And it's the older era. This is a Quiet Glide. They got the gray. It may come out black on in the video here, but that's the gray drawers that was used, I think, through about 1997 or 8, and then they switched over. Now these hinges here, there's places to add locks to all three, although I've never locked it. And it's pretty cool. So when it's closed, the drawers don't open. And you can see, I mean, I don't know how well it's going to show up, and of course I'll do a walk around with it, but there's a lot of rust, surface rust, that has accumulated over the years. It was in garages, it was in basements, and it was in places that were damp. So, and it also got used. I mean, if you look here, I'll tilt it forward. If you see the top, how badly scored up that is, it was used. I would take this thing to junkyards, and so, you know, you throw it in a wheelbarrow, and then this became your work surface. So the scratches and stuff you see on here, not really from neglect, but from use. Anyway, if you pop these, you have access to the top part, which is pretty deep. And then once you have done that, there's a little lever back here that is open, and that exposes the drawers. It's only, I don't know, I think 10-inch drawers, maybe not even. I got a tape measure here, let's see. Oh wow, 7¼ depth of the drawers. The box itself is 8.5 by 20.5, it looks like, yeah, 20.5. And it is, if it's closed, about 1 foot, maybe a little bit more with the handle. Just to give you an idea of the size though. But for what it is, you can actually fit quite a bit in there. Once you have it opened up and these drawers become unlocked, you can see, and I'll go through, I'll get the camera at a higher angle. But it was actually quite a bit of stuff. It was great for if you just had it sitting somewhere, but there's no like foam inserts or anything like that. So anything in here would move around if we went around a corner in the car even, or if you tried to carry it somewhere. Like I said, this took a lot of trips to the junkyard to get parts from my old car. So I'll close it up real quick here. Show it from the side and from the back, you can see. And it's, if I scan down a little bit there, scan down, look at that. A lot of rust on the bottom of it, unfortunately, but. And it's, you know, it was red, but it wasn't the red that modern Craftsman boxes used. It was more of a fire brick red instead of a fire engine red, if that makes any sense. And there's one spot, I noticed when I was playing with this, if you look right there, and I don't know how well that shows up, because that latch was over it all those years, that's more what the paint color was. You can see a little more reddish. Yeah, anyway, let me get the camera up at a higher angle and we'll do a quick toolbox tour. So up on top here, and again, like I don't use this box actively as you know, a day-to-day box, but what I do use it for is overflow. So a lot of times if I pick up extra sockets somewhere or I find a socket, I'm going to keep those extras in here. That way if I ever lose them, oh, I've got them. So I've got some 1/2 inch. All these are Craftsman too as well, because I usually try to just keep my stuff Craftsman related when it comes to sockets, especially the chrome ones. But I've got 1/4, I've got 3/8, I've got 1/2, I've got long, and I've got short. So it's a little hodgepodge of everything there, but it works out pretty well as a storage. Down in this first drawer, you can see these were, it didn't come with mats. The mat you're seeing here is actually from a kitchen. My mom got that. I remember because I was complaining they were sliding all over, it was scratching the bottoms. These were like kitchen mats she got at Sears, and she cut them to size for me so I could fit them in there. So thanks, Mom. They held up really well. And I've got some, that's a really old Craftsman round head ratchet. Haven't seen one of those in 100 years. And it looks like, there's an old 1/4 inch Craftsman USA made breaker bar, because a 1/4 inch breaker bar is definitely on the list of things you need. And an old Craftsman 3/8. Then this, I think, was my grandfather's. Yeah, diamond. Doubt they're around anymore, but dime alloy steel made in the USA from the Diamond Tool and Horseshoe Company, Duluth, Minnesota. Diamond Tool and Horseshoes. You can see, look at that, diamonds and horseshoes. Wow. A little bit of history here for sure. Same thing here, we got extra wrenches and stuff that I just either don't use or just have spares of. And then the bottom one here is random screwdrivers. Some of these ones here, I think those were like the no-names, and you could see it was bent. I know exactly what I used that for. I would wedge that into Volvo B230 engine blocks, pull back and put a cut off piece of a wire hanger, coat hanger, and that was how I held the tensioners for the timing belt jobs I used to do. Some Craftsman stuff there too as well. Yeah, so they all have those little liners. They've really held up really well. Pretty cool. So I guarantee you, if you search on the internet, you will not find a toolbox review of that toolbox right there. That is probably one of the few that are still left either in service or even on earth, I would say. Later on, Craftsman went to plastic toolboxes. They still had metal drawers, which is a kind of a cool concept. And I've seen a few of those. They're actually built quite well. Clearly, the paint would probably hold up a lot better, or the colored plastic instead of having painted metal boxes like this. So longevity-wise, heck, those things might actually be better. Now I've got a few small plastic toolboxes that I've acquired over the years, and I find them to be pretty durable, all things considered. You think plastic, you don't think strength, but this was something I would say. This was a huge gift from. I think I got it from my mom for Christmas, and I think my dad bought me the tools. So that was between the two of them. I was either 14 or 15, and I had started working a lot on lawnmowers, trying to make extra money. And also mopeds, if you remember mopeds. I would buy those from people and fix them up and resell them, dirt bikes, stuff like that. And so I didn't really have a ton of tools. It was just mix and match stuff that I had acquired. And so they could tell that I had the spirit of a mechanic inside of me. And this is what they came up with. I used this all the way up at home until 1999, I think it was. No, 90, might even have been 2001. This was my toolbox at home. Of course, it was overflowing and there was stuff all over the place. But I finally upgraded my first automotive toolbox, and I brought home my Craftsman 26-inch, which I've done a review on and still use to this day, although it is definitely starting to show its age as well. Anyway, that'll do it for today. It's a review of a very, very old toolbox. If I could figure out what the part number was on it or what the model number was, I'll put it in the description, but I don't know where you would find that information. There's no plaques or markers on here, so anyway, that'll do it, my friends. Take care.